Top U.S. Democrat Nancy Pelosi is visiting Taiwan as part of a tour of Asia, despite sharp warnings from China. The trip, which is not backed by President Biden, is the first by such a senior U.S. official in decades. Pelosi will meet Taiwan's President Tsai Ing-wen in the morning, then fly out after lunch, the country's official central news agency says. China has condemned the trip as a serious violation that will have a severe impact on China-US relations. China's army will hold military exercises near Taiwan from Thursday until Sunday, its state media says. Beijing sees self-ruled Taiwan as a breakaway province that will eventually be part of the country. Hong Kong's leader has strongly condemned Nancy Pelosi's visit to Taiwan. The territory's new chief executive John Lee said his government had an unwavering determination and a clear stance against any advocacy of Taiwan independence. Pelosi's visit was tantamount to encouraging Taiwan independence and openly challenged the One China principle, he added, and showed contempt for the well-being of more than 20 million people in Taiwan. Beijing has in the past said that Taiwan could become a special administrative region of China like Hong Kong. Since 1979, the U.S. has agreed to recognize the One China policy. It means the U.S. acknowledges China's position that there's only one Chinese government. So what does that mean for Taiwan? Under the policy, the U.S. has formal ties with China, not Taiwan. But the U.S. still supports the island and has promised to help it defend itself, including supplying arms. The One China policy is a key cornerstone of Sino-US relations. But it's different to the One China principle, which is China's insistence that it will one day fully take back Taiwan. China's ruling Communist Party has threatened to use force if Taiwan ever formally declares independence. Nancy Pelosi's flight, and the geopolitical storm surrounding it, have brought into sharp focus some of the changing realities for Taiwan, its people, and its relationship with China and the U.S. For decades, the two big superpowers have relied on two little words, One China, to do a lot of heavy lifting. Beijing uses the principle as the basis for its claim of sovereignty over Taiwan, while the U.S. argues that, in its adherence to a One China policy, it merely acknowledges that the claim exists. The deliberate ambiguity in this formula is now being stretched to breaking point. Few observers any longer dare to hope that it will buy time for China's economic development to eventually bring with it a softening of its political model. Or, alternatively, for deepening trade ties that would build a dependency that makes the threat of war redundant. Instead, today, China is as unapologetically authoritarian and intolerant of dissent as it ever was, and Taiwan is a vibrant democracy, with free elections and a flourishing civil society. It's a shift that poses major questions both for the U.S. and for the Chinese Communist Party, which sees the territory drifting, in terms of values and identity, ever further from its grasp. A U.S. politician flying for a short visit to a long-standing ally would in any other place be of little note. But in Pelosi's visit, the symbolism itself is substance.